Who can turn a can into a cane? Who can turn a pan into a pain? It's not too hard to see, it's silent E.
Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, X7, I always say master of musical mayhem, but I am nothing compared to this man who we are celebrating today on Seven Song Friday, April 10th, 2026. That would be Thomas Andrew Lehrer, whose birthday he would have been 98 years old yesterday. So it just worked out really well that we could do this. And before we get too much further into it, please like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about Tom. Let me know what you think about his music. I think he was obviously a genius since he was a doctor of mathematics. He was a ridiculously smart person. Bachelor of Arts. Oh, he was just a magna cum laude, MA degree. Yeah, MIT, Harvard. Okay, he wasn't a doctor, but he was a smart man. And he was a phenomenal piano player and very funny. So, now that I've said all that, keep watching. It's going to be fun, and his songs are all public domain. Are you ready? Let's roll. As stated, all of Tom's songs are public domain. He did that before he passed on to, I guess, make sure nobody else profited from him. I don't know, but bless him for that. So we shouldn't run into any problems. That first bit that you saw there, here's Tom in his later years next to his piano. The first bit was where I discovered Tom, and it was not from the Dr. Demento show, even though I didn't know I had discovered Tom Lehrer. It was from the Electric Company. He did 4 songs or so for that. Silent E is one of my favorites. So that's why you'll see that. And right after that, that's the next song. So we're going to go play the entire thing, and I hope that doesn't get me in trouble. The song is public domain. The animation may not be. So if we don't see it, well, sorry about that.
Who can turn a can into a cane? Who can turn a pan into a pain? It's not too hard to see, it's silent E. Who can turn a cub into a cube? Who can turn a tub into a tube? It's elementary for silent E. He took a pin and turned it into a pine. He took a twin and turned him into twine. Who can turn a cap into a cape? Who can turn a tap into a tape? A little glob becomes a globe instantly if you just add silent E. He turned a damn alakazam into a dame, but my friend Sam stayed just the same. Who can turn a man into a mane? Who can turn a van into a vein? A little hug becomes huge instantly. Don't add W, don't add X, and don't add Y or Z, just add silent E.
So that's Silent E, our first song there. Most of his songs are under 2 minutes, except for the Irish song, which is not on here. If you love that one, I'm sorry about it. But here is the way I first heard about him, one of the first songs from Dr. Demento. And this is the tune you may recognize. It's just the periodic table of elements set to a tune you may possibly recognize, simply because I've heard him say that so many times in the live version. But I love this.
There's antimony, arsenic, aluminum, selenium, and hydrogen, and oxygen, and nitrogen, and rhenium, and nickel, neodymium, neptunium, germanium, and iron, americium, ruthenium, uranium, europium, zirconium, lutetium, vanadium, and lanthanum, and osmium, and astatine, and radium, and gold, protactinium, and indium, and gallium, and iodine, and thorium, and thulium, and thallium. There's yttrium, ytterbium, actinium, rubidium, and boron, gadolinium, niobium, iridium, and strontium, and silicon, and silver, and samarium, and bismuth, bromine, lithium, beryllium, and barium.
Are you paying attention? There will be a quiz. These are not in order.
There's holmium and helium and hafnium and erbium and phosphorus and francium and fluorine and terbium and manganese and mercury, molybdenum, magnesium, dysprosium and scandium and cerium and cesium and lead, praseodymium and platinum, plutonium, palladium, promethium, potassium, polonium and tantalum, technetium, titanium, tellurium and cadmium and calcium and chromium and curium.
I've been listening to the song 45 years.
There's sulfur, californium, and fermium, berkelium, and also mendelevium, einsteinium, nobelium, and argon, krypton, neon, radon, xenon, zinc, and rhodium, and chlorine, carbon, cobalt, copper, tungsten, tin, and sodium.
These are the only ones.
These are the only ones of which the news has come to Harvard. And there may be many others, but they haven't been discovered.
So that's the elements. And I've heard that song for over 45 years. I still can't do it all. If I slow down really slow, I can do it. But you've seen it on The Big Bang Theory. Daniel Radcliffe is a fan. Many people are fans of Tom Lehrer, and he should be highly regarded and probably given a Nobel in music or whatever they have. All right, the next song we have here is another one I heard many times on Dr. Demento. It is, of course, the orchestrated version of the Masochism Tango. This is one of probably the longest one on the set.
I ache for the touch of your lips, dear, but much more for the touch of your whips, dear. You can raise welts like nobody else as we dance to the Masochism Tango. Let our love be a flame, not an ember. Say it's me that you want to dismember. Blacken my eye, set fire to my tie as we dance to the Masochism Tango. At your command, before you here I stand. My heart is in my hand.
Ugh.
It's here that I must be. My heart entreats, just hear those savage beats, and go put on your cleats, and come and trample me. Your heart is hard as stone or mahogany. That's why I'm in such exquisite agony. My soul is on fire, it's aflame with desire, which is why I perspire when we tango.
So we're going to stop it there just because it is a longer song. As a kid, probably 14 years old, I probably had a slight idea of what the song was about, but not the whole thing. All right. The rest of the songs, one of them, the next one, is about a doctor, a man of renown named Werner von Braun, a scientist who worked on rockets for both the Nazis and the anti-fascists.
And what is it that put America in the forefront of the nuclear nations? And what is it that will make it possible to spend $20 billion of your money to put some clown on the moon?
That money stays on the earth.
Good old American know-how, that's what. As provided by good old Americans like Dr. Werner von Braun. Gather round while I sing you of Werner von Braun, a man whose allegiance is ruled by expedience. Call him a Nazi, he won't even frown. Nazi schmatzi, says Werner von Braun. Don't say that he's hypocritical, say rather that he's apolitical. Once the rockets are up, who cares where they come down? That's not my department, says Werner von Braun. Some have harsh words for this man of renown, but some think our attitude should be one of gratitude, like the widows and cripples in old London town, who owe their large pensions to Werner von Braun. You too may be a big hero, once you've learned to count backwards to zero. In German or English, I know how to count down. And I'm learning Chinese,
says Werner von Braun. Also a real man. So that's how I learned about Werner von Braun, although I did read books about rocketry and that science later on, which do mention him because you can't not. You are watching Xenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters on KXNO, part of the Xenorama Broadcasting Network. We now return you to our regularly scheduled program. Our next song is one that that Dr. Demento played often, and one that I find very funny. And it is the hunting song, orchestrated.
I always will remember 'twas a year ago November. I went out to hunt some deer on a morning bright and clear. I went and shot the maximum the game laws would allow. 2 game wardens, 7 hunters,
And a cow.
I was in no mood to trifle. I took down my trusty rifle and went out to stalk my prey.
What a haul I made that day.
I tied them to my fender and I drove them home somehow. 2 game wardens,
7 hunters, and a cow.
The law was very firm, it took away my permit, the worst punishment I ever endured. It turned out there was a reason, cows were out of season, and
one of the hunters
wasn't insured. People ask me how I do it, and I say there's nothing to it. You just stand there looking cute, and when something moves, you shoot. And there's 10 stuffed heads in my trophy room right now.
2 game wardens, 7 hunters, and a cow.
Yes, the law was very firm. It
took away my permit.
The worst punishment I ever endured. It turned out there was a reason. Cows were out of season, and one of the hunters wasn't insured. People ask me how I do it, and I say there's nothing to it. You just stand there looking cute. And when something moves, you shoot. And there's 10 stuffed heads in my trophy room right now. 2 game wardens, 7 hunters,
and a purebred Guernsey cow. Yeah, I do kind of think that is me singing a duet with Tom. So sorry, I've just heard these songs way too many times to not sing along. That just makes me laugh, and it almost made my friend Bitsy Bookums throw up once because the cow thing, the repetition of that cow just got to her. She's a weirdo. Anyway, our next song is about those little bastions of democracy, the Boy Scouts. My brother was a scout, and I had a complicated relationship with the Scouts, but I think they were good. Anyway. So this is Be Prepared. It is the Boy Scout marching song.
Be prepared. That's the Boy Scouts marching song. Be prepared. As through life you march along, be prepared to hold your liquor pretty well.
Don't write naughty words on walls if you can't spell.
Be prepared to hide that pack of cigarettes. Don't make book if you cannot cover bets. Keep those reefers hidden where you're sure that they will not be found. And be careful not to smoke them when the scoutmaster's around, for he only will insist that they be shared.
Be prepared.
Be prepared. That's the Boy Scout's solemn creed. Be prepared. And be clean in word and deed. Don't solicit for your sister.
That's not nice.
Unless you get a good percentage of her price. Be prepared. And be careful not to do your good deeds when there's no one watching you. If you're looking for adventure of a new and different kind, and you come across a Girl Scout who is similarly inclined, don't be nervous, don't be flustered, don't be scared.
Be prepared. I was told to be a Boy Scout once, and I completely misread it and went with the Superman-style Boy Scout. Be that as it may, our final song here is, I just like the name of this, The Cynical Pianist, but it's called Selling Out. And it is also orchestrated and something that artists just do on occasion. Let's listen. Let me know what you think.
Selling out. not so hard to find a buyer for you. When money talks, you're under its spell. Ah, but what do you have when there's nothing left to sell? Selling out, I'd rather call it compromise, is easy to do. Sometimes you have to close your eyes. It's not so hard. Being rich is no disgrace. To find a buyer for you, put on your shoes and join the race. When money talks, it has a very soothing voice. You're under its spell. It's up to you to make the choice. Ah, but what do you have when there's nothing left to sell? You can't always break the rules. People who try are fools. When you get older, maybe then you will see. I've always found ideals don't take the place of meals. That's how it is and how it will always be. It's so nice to have integrity. I'll tell you why. If you really have integrity, it means your price is very high. So remember when you start to preach and moralize that we all are in the game, and brother, its name is compromise. It's so nice to have integrity. I'll tell you why. It's not to have integrity. Remember when you start to preach, you're under its now that we all have the game,
I just love that it says he's a cynical pianist, and that is probably one of the most cynical songs ever, and it's so upbeat. And there's like a 4-part, overdub. He was a genius, and I many times I'd wished I'd sent him sent him a letter. I don't know that he'd have corresponded or anything, but I just never did that sort of thing as a kid. So Tom, happy belated birthday one day, and maybe we'll do this again next year.
From beyond the stars come the most fearsome monsters in the galaxy. Only Godzilla stands in their way in Godzilla on Monster Island. Is even Godzilla strong enough to defeat the invaders? Matching unbelievable strength, exchanging incredible death-dealing rays. Don't miss Godzilla on Monster Island, rated G.
All right, my fellow agents. Tomorrow we do have it is a cartoon, but it does have a lot of samurai in it. So Kempo, Kendo, and some ninja magic. So there's a lot of martial arts in it. That's my point. It is the Magic Boy, or the Shonen Sartabi Sasuke, or as MGM wanted it to be called, The Adventures of the Little Samurai. And that's a little loud there, Laylo. All right. But until that next assignment, my fellow agents, this is X7 signing off and phasing out. And remember, the sun never sets on those who ride into it. And if you use a Smile as your umbrella, you'll end up soaking wet.
Little brother, what you saw was a witch. They say that years ago, when Japan was a bright new country, there was a wicked, jealous, greedy witch who wanted to take away all pleasure from the happy Japanese people. This witch cast magic spells over them and made them suffer. But there was a great Japanese king then who knew magic too, and he heard of the evil she was doing, and he came here to the forest where she was, and he punished her.